Dragon Ball Super really hasn't had the best track record. Let's be brutally honest. Minus the fact that Dragon Ball Super gave us some hype, the manga itself is on a steady decline. The fact that it's on a hiatus to we don't even know when, it doesn't leave me with much hope that Dragon Ball Super is going to be remembered as a good series. But that's why I'm standing here. I believe that Dragon Ball Super can be great again. And the one thing that's holding it back is how it's going to end. See, they already set up a great villain with Black Frieza. The circumstance is really nice. He's too strong for the heroes, so instead they have to come up with a new creative way to beat the villain. And so far in Dragon Ball Super, we have yet to have a true sacrifice. Minus, Nearest. If you want to sell me on a show, or you want to sell me on a series, you can sell me on Dragon Ball Z, because that sucker has consequences. Every single time a new arc has begun, it's because of the consequences from the previous arc. From the Saiyan Saga to the Frieza Saga. Because of what Nappa and Vegeta did, that forced them to go to Namek. Consequences is what makes a show captivating. That's why most people really look at Dragon Ball and say that you have no story, because any consequence you feel in the story can just get automatically rewinded and then turned back. Which isn't a fair assessment to say, because my favorite show, ReZero, plays with that premise so well. With a main character that can return by death. Anytime he dies, he gets sent back. That means, if abusing that power, he can make it where every decision he makes is towards the future that he wants. Yet they use the premise of that story to make an excellent anime. Please let me know if you're a ReZero fan as well. But that being said, the idea that in your world there isn't any consequences kind of sells me the story a little bit down. I truly believe Goku should have died when Moro stuck his arm through his chest. Because having Goku return, be the one to defeat Moro, all because of the healing abilities of Dende, it doesn't make any sense to me. Why have this dramatic pause of everyone thinking that Goku was gonna die if you're never gonna kill him? So that's one major thing I would say. If you want to make Dragon Ball Super great again, that's the avenue I would go. Give us legitimate consequences for our actions. Number 2, and this is the biggest thing that I really need to see in Dragon Ball Super. I need to have the ending kind of be unpredictable. Some endings that I thought of how they're gonna be able to beat Black Frieza, because I still believe the hero should win at the end of the day. Or maybe they shouldn't, because that's where I have this alternative future coming in. If anyone remembers Dragon Ball GT, knew the last couple of episodes of Dragon Ball GT, we have Omega Shenron being too overpowered and Goku and Vegeta being the last stand. Goku goes down. Vegeta tells everyone to run away. Come up with a new way to defeat Omega Shenron. Of course, in Dragon Ball GT, everyone does leave, but then they come back saying like, we can't leave. We have to make a heroic stand. But that makes you really think, what happens if they continue down that route? What happened if Dragon Ball GT kind of took that dark ending? Not just replace Omega Shenron, but with Black Frieza. Because that's the possible end game type of stuff I was thinking about. I think that's what kind of makes the original timeline with Future Trunks so captivating to me. Because in there, consequences is what made that timeline. Because Dragon Ball Super, as much as we don't want to admit it sometimes, but the consequences have been really minor at best. Mirrors being the one example that I could possibly think on top of my head of a consequence that actually kind of lives in your memory. But granted, he didn't die, he just lost his angel abilities. So if they were ever gonna take that dark route and give us that little alternative end game Infinity War type ending, I'm all for it. Some possible endings that could also happen is like the Taka no Jutsu, where Goku and Vegeta talk down Frieza, make him change his ways, kind of lean towards his humanity. Because Frieza, at the end of the day, like I did in my Frieza defending video, Frieza is a character of change. Frieza is a character that could be appealed to if you go in the right direction. Frieza got appealed to in Dragon Ball Super to help defend his universe, though granted he did want his life back, so that was a major motivation. But during the Tournament of Power, he was not being only selfish, but he was also being kind of caring. Near the end of episode 131 of Dragon Ball Super, we saw the different side of Frieza. We saw Frieza who could work with a teammate and achieve the result of winning the whole tournament. So Frieza being talked down, that's also another possible ending. Frieza being sealed away. I don't know how they would do it, but sealing techniques are not unavailable to the Z Warriors, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be a satisfying ending for the Dragon Ball fans. Because Frieza is not a character that we can see, sealed away and then everyone's going to be happy like, hoorah! Frieza's gone! Because in that instance, why seal him? I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, that kind of seems very anticlimactic. But hey, you know what? I'm just trying to name all the endings that could possibly happen for the Dragon Ball Super manga. Speaking of another, crazy ending that could happen, now this one I'm not really a big fan of either. A new, bigger bad comes out of nowhere and forces Frieza to have to team up with the Z Warriors to take him down. Now, if that happened, I'm calling bullshit, because I cannot think of a single character that is going to force Black Frieza to team up with the Saiyans. Because if they write a new character, Jiren, then I'm just going to be really tuned out of the story, because you already kind of have my captivating eyes. Giving us Frieza and giving back his moment of glory, it wouldn't feel right to try to give that moment of glory to anyone else. And then we have the possibly best ending they could give us in any way, shape, or form. Vegeta being the one to defeat Frieza. I'm not talking about Vegeta having the help of Kakarot, Gohan, everyone around him. Now I'm talking about Vegeta being the one to square off against Frieza. I do not know what Goku and Gohan will be doing at the time, but if Vegeta is the one to square off against Frieza and he is the one to defeat him, I know damn right that will be a satisfying end to Dragon Ball Super manga. For he is the one character that deserves this victory. And everyone knew that back in Resurrection F when Goku stole the spotlight from Vegeta. But among all the endings, my personal one would be for the dark ending where they kind of take the Dragon Ball GT route. But hey, with Dragon Ball Super manga still being on hiatus for now indefinitely, I'm hoping one of my endings that I kind of came up with, you might agree or you might disagree. But with the topic of Frieza in mind, if you don't think Frieza can be redeemed, I suggest that you watch my video of me defending Frieza and telling you all that Frieza did nothing wrong. And until next time, you guys stay safe and peace.